Alrighty, so welcome to AP review time. This is clearly taken from the 2019 test. We're going to work through the first couple problems this week. I try to do 2 a week. So in this problem, they give us a histogram of room sizes of a dorm room at a college, and they want us to first describe the distribution in a few sentences. Remember, anytime you have to describe a distribution, you're going to want to use SOC V. So include all these elements: S for shape, O for outliers, C for center, and V for variability. So let's get started. This graph has 2 peaks on it. It's roughly symmetric. The distribution, I'm not going to call it a graph. If you want to be rancy, you can use the word bimodal. That's 2, and mode is the most frequent number. This has 2 peaks. You could also just say it has 2 peaks. That takes care of shape. It doesn't appear to have any outliers because everything, even on the ends, is clumped in with the rest of the data. I'm going to say there are no obvious outliers. Done. The center of the graph. Now we can use mean, we can use median. In this case, since it's symmetric, those 2 things will be pretty much the same. So we can say the median, I guess we can get this sort of exactly here. Let's see, there's 3 of these, there's 6 of these, there's 1 of these, there's 7 of these, and there's 3 of these. So that's, if I add all these up, there's 20 total data points. So the mean, I should say the median would be, let's see, 1 through 10 and 11 through 20. The median would be the average of the 10th and the 11th. So that would be the average of this and this. That means it could be as low as 200 and as high as 300. So the median is somewhere between 200 and 300. That takes care of center. For variability, the fancy method would be to use standard deviation, but we don't really have any way of figuring out that. I mean, we do it from the table here, but this is saying based on the histogram. So I'm going to ignore the table for the purposes of answering this question. And so standard deviation isn't really clear from this table or from the histogram. So another measure of variability, if standard deviation is out, would be to use the range. Now, range does not mean from this to this. That's kind of how we use it in a traditional sense. But range is the max minus the min. So the max could be as high as 350 and could be low as 100. The max could be as low as 300. The min could be as high as 150 or as low as 100. So I've got to give kind of ironically a range of answers. So the range could be as high as 250. If I subtract these, it could be as low as 150. So the range is somewhere between, subtracting these, what did I say, 150, and subtracting these, I'd get 250. That takes care of part A. For part B, we're going to refer to this table, and the rest of part B is on the back. Determine whether there are potential outliers in the data, then use the following grid to sketch a box plot of the room size. So for outliers, let's see. To get outliers, we'd need to do 1.5 times the IQR. You would want to show this work instead of just saying, it's maybe this or maybe that. No, you want to be more definitive. So I'm going to use the 1.5 IQR rule. IQR in this case, that's Q3 minus Q1. If I subtract those, I get 118. And if I multiply by 1.5, I get 177. So what I want to do is from Q1, I want to set a window 177 units to the left, and from Q3, I want to set a window 177 units to the right. So I'm going to show that. Q1, take away 174, or 177 would be, well, that's going to be negative 3. So anything less than -3, or if I set my window to the right edge, make sure I'm doing this right, I get 469. We can see the max is less than this upper threshold, and the min is still greater than this lower threshold. So I'm kind of out of room here. I'll put it, there are no obvious outliers. Nothing less than -3 or greater than 469. So be clear about how your calculations tie in to your conclusion. That's always important on AP tests. Then it says, at some point, sketch a box plot of the room size. So box plot is a 5-number summary shown on a graph. My min is 134. I'm going to definitely want to plot that. So 134 would be somewhere around here. Then 174 for my Q1. 253.5 for my median. 292 for my upper quartile. And 315 for my max. And we put a box around the IQR. And then we put whiskers going out to the extremes. So 50% of the data is trapped inside, the middle 50% is trapped inside that box. I guess I can bar this as well. All right, that's part B. Finally, it says, what characteristic of the shape of the distribution of room size is apparent from the histogram, but not apparent from this box plot? So again, when we talk about characteristic of the distribution, we're talking about SOCV, shape, outliers, center, and variability. Really, it's going to be, the shape that we can't really tell. Like outliers, we can obviously tell from the box plot. Center, we can tell what the median is. Variability, we can tell pretty easily what the range is. And even the IQR. But we can't tell the shape. So I want to go into a little more detail here. We can tell that the distribution is bimodal from the histogram, but not from the box plot. There you go. You've done your first practice AP problem. Congratulations.